What's happening between India and Canada. You've got a lot of these radicals, immigrant radicals, essentially who are detached from reality, based in Canada, who constantly also issue these calls for referendum. And it's not something new. It's something we've witnessed in the past as well. Several times, it's never really had an impact on India.
A major rallying point for Khalistani supporters in Canada. In Australia, in the UK, a so-called Punjab referendum, unofficial and binding on no one. A voting exercise aimed at diasporic Sikhs, asking them whether they want the Sikh majority Punjab in India to become a separate Khalistan. The man behind this sham exercise, Gurpatwant Singh Pannun, a lawyer of US and Canadian citizenship, whose Sikhs for Justice organization is proscribed by India. Born in Amritsar district, he fled to the US in 2007 after being implicated in a criminal case. The Indian government has designated him a terrorist. Make no mistake, Pannun's so-called Punjab referendum has no base whatsoever in Punjab. The Khalistan movement lost popular support in the early 1990s in the state. Elections take place peacefully from panchayats, the state assembly, to the Lok Sabha, with a huge turnout. Surveys show as high as 95% Sikhs take pride in their Indianness. Separatist voices, if any, appear like a flash in the pan, once in a while, and vanish into thin air. Barring the stubborn fringe, most of the diasporic Sikh community, totaling some 2.5 million people, is not a supporter of Khalistan either. And within the fringe, Pannun's referendum exercise is seen as an ISI-sponsored program.
ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆ ਇੱਕ 2020 ਸੰਸਥਾ ਵਾ ਜਿਹੜੀ ISI ਦੇ ਕਹਿਣ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਉਹ ਰੈਫਰੈਂਡਮ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੀ ਆ.
Slain Khalistani separatist Hardeep Nijjar was actively involved in this ISI project in Canada's British Columbia province. The referendum was originally slated in 2020 but was delayed due to the pandemic. Canada became one of the first countries to hold this exercise. It started in the UK in 2021, followed by Italy, and moved to parts of Canada this year. The Indian government has repeatedly conveyed its position on this so-called referendum to nations where it's held, Canada included.
Our position on the efforts by anti-Indian elements to hold a so-called Khalistan referendum is well known. It has been conveyed to the Canadian government, both in New Delhi and in Canada. You also referred, and let me reiterate that, the government of Canada has conveyed that they respect the sovereignty and territorial integrity of India, and they will not recognize the so-called referendum, which is to take place, I think, in two parts in Canada.
Non-state actors staging a theatre in the name of a referendum, when actual referendums are put forward officially by states, mostly in the West, to vote in support of a proposal or in its opposition. The so-called Khalistan referendum on foreign soil, clearly a farcical project.